Hello and welcome to the Social Recruiting Show. I'm Katrina Collier. I'm a social recruiting trainer and speaker. I'm, of course, joined by my gorgeous co-host, Audra Knight, employer branding champion, nerd, whatever she is this week. Currently with a cat, possibly. Gone away? Hiding from cat. Sleeping. This week, we're super excited to have Emma Hunt from Logojoy joining us because she's going to talk all about Slack and recruiting and whether that's possible and hopefully demystify it without banjo. Welcome, Emma.
Yeah, welcome, Emma. Can you give us a little background of how you maybe got into recruitment or what you've been doing with your career in HR and recruitment?
Yeah, so I worked in London for many years. I'm in Canada now, so my accent could be misleading to some. But yeah, I worked in advertising and design for many, many years, always been really passionate about sourcing and like not just sitting on LinkedIn all day and sourcing. And then I moved to Canada to a design agency, and now I've actually entered the startup world. And I'm in a fast-scaling startup at the moment. We work in artificial intelligence. So, yeah, that's where I am. Sorry?
What kind of people do you hire?
So at the moment, it's anything from data science. So we look at deep learning and machine learning specialists, right through to kind of user experience. Could be something like growth marketing, customer success, visual design, development, kind of the whole spectrum at the moment. We go across product, marketing, operations, and customer success, and I'm responsible for all of that. And I'm the head of talent as well, so I'm responsible for also looking after the people, organizational design, and yeah, just kind of looking after, like, making our culture basically as
so
well. And sorry? So
you're not busy at all?
No, I've got time.
Well, and she found an hour for us. She's
I know, it's good you scheduled this.
Did you say 15 seconds?
Right, I'm off now.
Yeah, gone, done. So artificial intelligence, does that mean you're going to end up outsourcing yourself? That's all I hear all the time.
You know what? And I actually do think that's the wrong way of looking at things. And I think people are getting scared, right? But I think we should see artificial intelligence as an assistance to us and to be able to automate the stuff that we don't want to do. Like, if there is an AI that can actually do some sourcing and get me a pipeline of candidates, so I can focus on really important things or even more high priority roles, then hell yeah, I'm going to get AI to help me source or schedule my interviews. Like, it's just
that's it. Like, why wouldn't you use it for the easy stuff, like the scheduling the interviews and like the stuff where you go back and forth with 16 emails just to book something in?
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. That's not the fun part of my job. I can focus on the bigger stuff. And I think people need to think about that. And also, I think people just need to understand AI a little bit more. Like, you need people for AI. It's not self-sufficient right now, and it won't be for a while. There's a lot of people work that goes into AI and to maintain AI. So actually, I do think there's going to be new jobs in the future that it also creates as well.
Say more about that then.
Well, I mean, there's going to be different kind of things advancing and in different kind of ways. So, for example, I was at an ethics of AI event recently, and one of the engineers on the panel was one of the lead AI experts on Uber, self-driving cars. Yeah. And kind of talked about how, okay, yes, that might eliminate some jobs because you've got to think about truck drivers, etc. But at the same time, there's going to have to be people monitoring this kind of thing that don't currently monitor it, for example. Yeah. So it is going to create different jobs in that way because AI, we're a very, very long way, if ever, it's going to be self-sufficient, to be honest. Yeah. So you're always going to need the people in it. And also we always want to improve the AI. Like, we can do machine learning as much as possible, and we can program to kind of, leave a gap so, machines can learn as well. Yeah. So it's like exploration AI, but it's always going to need, people at the moment and for our lifetime, probably.
Yeah. I think it sounds a bit like the Industrial Revolution to me. Yes, it did take away jobs, but others were created. Exactly. So we can do the doom and gloom, which looks like it's going down the side channel. God, let's not go there.
Not all doom and gloom.
Fine.
I would just state that this is my opinion.
No. However, I do know when I'm in Toronto, I'm so going to pop in and see more about this. This sounds amazing.
Yeah, we're automating design. We're making design more accessible and affordable to entrepreneurs.
How
perfect
is that? I love that.
So, So like their websites or graphics? What kind of?
Yeah, so at the moment, it's logos. Yeah.
I have to show you this. I'm sorry, because this is London, right? We don't do this.
Is it snowing now?
Like properly, U-Butte snowing.
That's worse than Toronto right now.
I know.
Toronto is sunny, but it's like
pretty.
snowy but sunny.
It's beautiful, but this is why London comes to a screaming halt. And I know you can empathize with that, Emma, being that you're from here. So that's why I had to share that. There wasn't a bit of random. It's properly.
I'm tough these days. I walk through snowstorms to work.
Yeah.
I've changed.
Right? I've had that of snow. I have snow tires. I don't think you have that over there.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And that's why it was so embarrassing last night at the candies when all of the, these Germans and Swiss were just going like, what is wrong with you people? We don't have snow tires. This is a really rare event. We don't get snow every year. But we
didn't have all weather tires. They're just summer. Yeah.
No. And also it was snow that was actually on the ground in central London, staying there. I've never seen that before. It would usually snow and then clear. That kind of surprised me. Yeah. So I had to share. You're absolutely right, climate change. Damn it. Can the AI sort that out?
One day.
So obviously Emma and I are part of the DBR Slack community, which is full of in-house recruiters, and we chit chat quite regularly, and that community is quite amazing. But most recruiters don't actually think of Slack as being a recruitment channel. So I was curious to hear more about your thoughts on that, because obviously that's, besides being the topic, that's something that you found quite beneficial. And I'm not surprised considering the roles you're in.
Yeah, I love Slack for recruiting. I'm part of many channels. DBR is just one of those. And also we use Slack internally actually for onboarding and for employees. We use a lot of Slack bots internally, which I've set up. But I have lots of different channels. I am busy, but like it takes 2 seconds to go on Slack and like quickly get involved and jump back out again. Like I don't believe in people being like, I don't have time. Yes, you do. Just manage your time. Like
I have to turn it on and off. I can't just turn it on because the little numbers, I keep getting sucked back in.
I had to snooze it the other day. I just started doing a payroll migration, fun times. So I had to snooze it because I just kept getting sucked in. And I was like, right, I'm going offline. If anyone actually needs me, get me on the phone. Like only if it's urgent, because I need to migrate payroll.
You don't mean by actually calling you though when you said on the phone, do you?
Oh, no, text me. Don't ring me. Don't talk to me in no.
That's why I've got the headset on, just to hide the fact I just don't want to be spoken to.
Yeah, no, they can call me. But I tried to get in as many channels as possible that aren't just recruitment. So I'm part of 2 recruitment groups, DBR and People, which is for talent people in Canada. But in terms of my other groups, I try to get in as many as possible that are relevant. There are obviously some Slack channels that recruiters are not allowed into. And, I'd never suggest trying to get in under the guise of being a designer or whatever. So that's when I'll utilize people internally who are in those channels to just post stuff for me. But I'm in a couple of women in tech ones. I'm in artificial intelligence. These are all Canada ones, I would mention. And I've made quite. So I'm just very active on like Twitter and stuff, and a lot of the people I have on Twitter are relevant to the Toronto market or the Canadian market for me. And people just share this stuff. Like if it's a good group, like people do share it out and be like, let's join this. And I'm always doing research on who we can partner up with. So one of the channels I love is Women in Tech. It's really awesome. It was started in Toronto, but now it's become a bit more global. So they've got a London audience in there. They've got US. They've got people from all over the world. And out of that Slack group, I ended up running a Tech Ladies event at Logojoy, and we had a sold out event.
So cool.
It was like our first ever event because we're a very, very young startup. We're only about a year old now. So yeah, it was completely sold out. We had so many people that like didn't know who we were, and suddenly loads of like really awesome women knew who we were. The Q&A session was like nothing I've seen before. People asked a lot of questions, and it was such a comfortable conversation. And I kind of moderated it, and we had our 3 ladies up front who'd kind of done the talking. So that was out of that group that I made that connection.
So with that though, I assume, because let me explain why I'm going to say this. So
Yes.
I was training some recruitment agents this week, and in a similar way, because it was Facebook groups. So to me, it's not dissimilar. But they were like, yeah, we use Facebook. We go to groups and we blast our jobs all over it. And I was like getting really frustrated because I'm like, could we just do some active sourcing? But, but they felt that was participating. Now, I'm assuming when you talk about your Tech Ladies event, you didn't just go there and say, hey, we've got a careers fair, come along. You actually put on an event that was to highlight the women you have in your company, or
yeah.
I knew you were going to say that though, but
yeah, no, I don't. I think the important thing to remember of Slack, and this is where I've seen recruiters do it wrong who are also in the groups that I'm in, is that it's give and take. It's like you've got to think of a bit of a 50-50 here. Like, you need to contribute for people to buy into you and actually pay more attention to your posts, because it's all very well and good posting jobs, posting your event, but like, why should people pay attention to you when there's other more relevant people in their group? And also not using the @channel button whenever you put a new job posting up, which quite a few recruiters do once they get in the group.
Oh my God,
and it's just like, well, that's how we end up getting banned from these groups, basically.
So what does that do?
So everybody gets a notification. Yeah. But every single person gets a notification that it's actually so, and you know what it's like. If you see a notification, you follow it. So yeah.
And I think you should only do that if you're like the admin of the group or something, and it's like an important announcement or whatever. But yeah, I think it's important to engage people in these communities. So I go into the Women in Tech one, or other groups that I'm in. I jump in. I will give my opinion, because often people do ask stuff that is relevant to my expertise. So people do ask career advice, or they might be having a situation internally with a manager and they don't know how to deal with it. And, I'll be like, I'll DM you, or let's talk about this, or talk about it openly on the channel, because again, it's a safe space. And yeah, I give, and I have a reputation in these groups now, so people will pay attention to my posts, and they will share my posts for me and talk to their friends about my posts as well. And just really just helping our kind of brand get up there, and we seem, and we are a good place to work. But yeah, through these groups, I've made so many connections. We're like week after, we're a sponsor for International Women's Day, DevTO, which is a massive tech event. Last year they had like Hillary Clinton's engineering team there, like talking, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, we're involved with that through that group. Yeah, we've got that Tech Ladies partnership now, and I've made hires. I've actually made hires. My latest developer who's joining our product team, she was actually through that group. And I'm also interviewing people from that group right now who are senior developers as well. So this is how I use Slack to personally recruit people, engaging, giving back, but also taking a little bit as well. Yeah, being human, showing that there is a human.
Yeah. I mean, I've certainly, from the DBR channel, which I find, the reason I find it so good is it's the people that own it are on it. So if somebody starts misbehaving, they're gone. Like, they're given a warning and then they're gone. But so it's really well looked after in that respect. And I think that's a big thing. But yes, of course, I've run business from it as well, because I've done what you said. I just start answering and chit-chatting. And then they're like, so what is it you do? And that's how you should be. That's how humans are. I don't know why everyone finds it so confusing when they go online. Look at these guys. They're like sharing every single bloody Slack channel under the sun.
This is awesome.
Stop it. We don't want every recruiter to know.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm just like,
suddenly Slack
out, like, join Slack. But yeah, like that's the thing as well. Like, I think as recruiters, it's ingrained in us to post jobs, post opportunities. A lot of recruiters think social media engagement is posting jobs, making your social media a job board, which it isn't. And unfortunately, that's ingrained in us. So people get into Slack seeing it as some sort of other social program or whatever, and they're just blasting out their jobs again. And that's not how it works. And that's not how it works on Twitter or, how it works on Facebook. Like, that's not how it works. That you're never like, yes, you might find a pin in a haystack and get that odd person, but you're not going to get the best people, and you're not going to help your brand.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sorry, but Jim just made me laugh right in the middle of that. That's very funny. So I guess you could say that we are not Slack on sourcing. Boom, boom. Yeah, really good.
I love that.
Really
That should have been the title.
I mean, as you know, because you've been through my training, I go on and on about being human, but that's that thing as well. When you never just walk up to someone and go, Audra, want a job? Like, you'd never do it in real life. But then I suppose when you look at, we used to stick a job in the newspaper, then we started sticking them in online job boards. I kind of get why people get confused, but it never works. So I don't know why they keep doing what hasn't worked. It's just,
I think they just think of it like, and it's hard not to be in this mentality. Well, yeah, one, it's easy, it's quick and easy, but also they're thinking, oh, it's hitting a bigger audience, because it is. Like, it will be if you're posting it across. Yeah, but if you were to do it versus not doing it, yes, it's going to hit more people. But it's not going to yield you the best results. And it totally takes groundwork. Like, if you're kind of new to social or, you know, Slack and stuff, like, you absolutely have to put the groundwork in. It's not ROI like straight away. You have to build that foundation, but like, you've got to put in that work in order to actually get the best results, and, you know, get those people that you might not find if you haven't done it in the first place.
I think listening as well. I found it amazing to see how the role, particularly the in-house recruiter, has grown in the time since I was doing an in-house role, and just sort of listening and hearing. So obviously that's for my benefit, and in your case you'd be learning much more about, I guess, data science and design and all that side. But that just hearing people's problems I find so powerful as well.
Yeah, are there Slack groups for like data scientists? Slack groups, is that specific, or is it more?
Yeah, there's Slack groups for everything. I actually recently had to cut down my Slack groups because I was like, I did have a bit too many. I was like, self control. But yeah, like, and I kind of go in and out of Slack groups depending on what we might be recruiting sometimes as well. Like, I have some that are consistent for me, like the Women in Tech one, like AI for Canada, those kind of ones. But there are some that I might just take off my dashboard because I have the Slack app, like if I'm not actually doing anything relevant at that time. It depends on the group, and it depends on the kind of conversation that happens in the group, to be honest, for me to keep it at the side. But yeah, you could have really relevant ones. Like, yes, there will be data scientist groups. There are a lot of niche groups. Like, I'm sure if you looked at some of those lists that people posted down the side there, like you will see lots of really like specific ones as well. But it's also going out and seeking them.
It's also, are they active? Because there's tons that aren't active either.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and that's also like, that's why I would also get rid of a group if I realized it wasn't that active. Like, yes, there's relevant people in here, but like no one's talking, so
and no one's going to see your post.
Yeah, exactly.
Steve makes a great point, and I was going to ask this anyway, but using Slack and obtaining results is not different from any other social channel, and that's what my question was: is how is this different than Facebook groups, or is it kind of the same but just a different platform?
Yeah, I would say the same but different. I would say less public in the sense that. A lot of the time with Slack channels, you will have less people in them, or they'll have been through some sort of screening process. Like, even the groups I'm in as a recruiter, I've been upfront to be like, I'm a recruiter, I am internal. So I would like to be able to give back to the group as well. But a lot of them, they do have screening processes. Like, you'll have to go through and answer actually a load of questions. And I don't think I'm in a Slack group where I haven't had to do that. Like, I've had to answer questions for many Slack groups. So it's a bit more vetted. Like, yes, people do vet on Facebook as well, but I've been vetted less on Facebook than I have on Slack. So I'd just say it's a little bit more like smaller and exclusive.
I find it much more supportive too. There's a lot of bullying that goes on in some of the Facebook groups. And there's far less in the Slack communities anyway, in my experience, because the people get kicked out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yeah, and I do find it a little bit more private. That really
people can share more because it's not so public.
Yeah, and like I find people will ask much more silly questions because they're like, I don't know, and I don't care because I know I'm not going to get bullied in here. That's what I found in my experience.
And that's like for the recruitment groups, like some of us put in stuff that, you know, is a little bit more sensitive, that you like something we might need help with that you're not going to put on Facebook, but you feel safe putting it in DBR or me and people because you're like, this isn't going to go anywhere else. Obviously, in some cases that has happened, but there are admins there to put a stop to that as much as possible, and people actually help each other, which is awesome.
Yeah, I completely agree. Actually, Steve asked another question though as well, which was, why not just simply mute your channel? Which I think is basically what you're doing, aren't you?
Oh, versus actually leaving it?
Oh, you're not leaving it. You're just taking it off the app. Oh, is she frozen? Uh-oh.
I think so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I wonder that with Facebook groups, like some of them I get too many notifications. Do I actually leave the group or do I mute it? Because if I mute it, I might as
I
well.
don't go into half the groups because I just find they're full of recruiters moaning. Emma might need to refresh her screen.
Yeah.
I suppose I could remove
Weird.
her and re-add her. Oh, here she goes, waiting to reconnect. Yeah. She's in deep thought. She's in very deep thought. So,
or she's answering Slack messages.
Like muting Rogue Jungle on Facebook for a spell. Hey!
Am I back?
We lost you.
Yeah,
sick. I don't know what happened.
I'm down the middle, which is really cute. I've moved. And you get the YouTube video thing, and it's completely different. We'll be wherever we are. It just makes me laugh. So, but yeah.
But what I would just say on the muting Slack channels, yes, I could mute them, but I have so many down the side. When I'm trying to look for relevant ones, I'm like scrolling like wildly. So that's why I do remove ones that I might not use as often. But I keep a folder in my Gmail with all my logins, so I can easily get back into them with Magic Link. It's really easy to get back in as well.
Yeah, it's not like you're leaving them; they're just not.
No,
because I have the app on the desktop, the MacBook, so I just open it.
We use it for work. Do you use it to talk to your employees? Just like instant messaging?
Yeah, we use it like a lot of our employees don't use email that much depending on their role. But like I mentioned at the beginning, we use it in our onboarding process. And we also have Slack bots set up. So we have a bit more of a self-serve. So people aren't coming to me for every tiny thing. They're like, where's the employee handbook? They can type that into Slack and it comes up and it gives them the link to the drive with it in. And then, we have and we also have bots set up, like when someone joins the Slack for the first time, we have intro bot that will come in and it will intro them and everyone will say hi and that kind of thing. But yeah, I have many bots set up. So some of them are integrations, but in terms of bots that we create ourselves, it's really easy. You go into the customize section of your Slack channel. Anyone can do it. You can go in, you can put the phrases, you can add different phrases in terms of what might bring up this certain thing. And then you just add the response in, any links you might want to put in. But then, we have integrations for intros and integrations for shout outs as well, for people to show appreciation to one another. We've got Disco Bot for that.
Disco Bot.
Disco Bot.
Oh my God, I want to see a screenshot of that. You have to send me one later.
Yeah, private, and people can react with emojis and stuff. So it's
my God, that's so cute. Oh yeah, I've been shown how to do the emoji thing so many times. I keep screwing it up. And not the emoji, the GIFs.
Oh, Giphy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what's the trick to GIFs on Slack?
There is a trick. I just seem to get it wrong.
Well, you just put /Giphy and then you just type whatever you want your GIF to be. But you could be like /Giphy happy, and then it will give you can shuffle through options of which one you'd like to send. Always fun. Sometimes I just respond to people in GIFs. Yeah. If I feel like they don't need an actual response.
I love that because I do that a lot on Twitter. You can have entire conversations without saying a word. It's awesome. This whole expression. But see, that's really funny because that's resulted on the fact that text, there's no tone. So when I was speaking last night at the Candidate Experience Awards, I was saying why not send a video? The tone of voice. Email, there's no text, there's no tone.
And that's dangerous.
And to be fair, Slack, it could be misinterpreted on Slack as well. That totally happens all the time.
Yeah.
Again, at the end of the day, it's written, so it's always going to be misinterpreted. You can't really help that. But you could add an emoji or a GIF if you want to be this isn't really serious though.
No, lots and lots of emojis. Yeah. I mean, that again, thank God for those tone of voice. What's going on down the side here? Matt's appeared. Hello, Matt. What best feature ever? Best feature. What's the best feature ever? Oh, you mean GIFs?
Giphy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
I can't figure it out on Slack. I'm too stupid. Oh, GIFs.
No. /Giphy. GIF.
I just tried. It didn't work for me.
Why?
It didn't do anything for me.
Multitasking, and you're supposed to be here paying attention. Bloody millennials. She's going to tell me she's not one in a second. Are you?
No.
You're not?
No.
Hell no. I must admit, I fought so hard not to shoot somebody down for saying that word last night. I'm like, I can't. I'm MC. I can't.
I've heard it a lot more in Toronto than I did in London. People use it way more over here. And the first advertising agency I worked in here, it was a big phrase when they were targeting.
Yeah. Are you on, Emma?
Yes, I am.
But it's bullshit anyway. I just think we all want to be invested in and taken care of.
It's generalizing,
that crap.
Right?
Yeah.
It's generalizing to a massive extent about what people want in this life. Everyone wants different things.
And we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's Steve going on about down the side, Audra?
He's just talking about his favorite Slack channel, which is interesting.
New York City Tech
Sounds like he uses it for recruitment too. I wonder how many recruiters use it for recruitment. I feel like it's pretty rare, but I could just be not with it. But Steve's using it.
I would say we're like in the 5%. See, most people are just using advertising LinkedIn. So
basically, it kind of shocks me the amount of people that are just doing that. Actually, is what I would say. It's my little thoughts on that.
No, I do get stunned as well. And then I also have, as Audra knows, my little heart failure. Everyone I just need an email. Oh God, do you really? Oh God. Anyway, hello, Mr. O'Donnell. They're all appearing today. This is obviously a popular topic.
Yeah.
They all want this.
Everyone's home because of the snow.
Say that again?
I think everyone's home because of the snow.
Oh, it's eased off. I'm going to have some very, 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 very icy
Emma,
dogs.
do you use Facebook groups as well?
Yes, I use Facebook groups a bit. We're quite lucky in Toronto, and I never found this in London, and I don't know, like I'm sure other cities have this, but we have, there's this like Facebook group called Buns in Toronto, and it has different stems off it, and one of them is Buns Employment, and most people in the city...
B-U-N-S?
No, B-U-N-Z.
But like buns.
I don't think they think that here.
Typical my head went there, isn't it? Yeah.
It came from a trading app.
See, wasn't just mine.
I've started something now.
My gorgeous conference concubine thought the same thing.
You can tell that I've been in Canada for 2 years. That I forgot that the Brits are going to go off about this.
But Americans
yeah, Buns with a Z. These groups are, most people in the city, you talk to people in Toronto, they're in this group, basically. Right. You have a massive talent pool in this one group. So I'm always making sure I get stuff in there. But in general, this city actually has a lot of like graphic designers in Toronto, developers in Toronto, and recruiters are allowed into these. So I get involved in discussion again. Facebook groups, I get involved in discussion. I go and I hop onto Buns all the time, provide advice. I'm just going to stop saying the name.
So I'm just going to type that back. I
hop on Buns all the time.
Just so you remember what that looks like. I'm not a millennial. What happens? You become very.
Also, you're all on Friday afternoon. I'm at Friday morning still, so I'm still waking up.
Yeah,
I'm not a morning person. I do
hope not hot. Damn it.
But yeah, I contribute. Like Slack, I contribute. I put stuff out on there, and I've also hired off there as well. A majority of our customer success recruitment, for example, I think everyone in that team has been hired off Facebook.
Wow.
So,
but by the group, not by sourcing on there.
No, literally by just because I try not to source that kind of role as much as possible and concentrate on different things.
Yeah.
Mostly Facebook posts on that one.
So what was the magic to your post that you put on Facebook then? I know we're completely off topic, but surely you're going on and putting something interesting, not just like want a job.
Yeah. But that's relevant for Slack and Facebook.
And that's the other thing. Like I would always recommend any recruiter should totally go on a copy course. I think it's really important to do that.
Oh, cool.
It's not, I think you shouldn't just put like, we're hiring. Blah, blah. So I always will be like, yes, we're hiring, whatever. I'll tag back to the Logojoy Facebook page as well, where we also have job integration on that page that links up to our ATS. And I will talk about what we can offer them in my posts on Facebook. And I will spin it in a way, like, for example, with customer success, I'll be like, it will be something like, do you want to help, enable entrepreneurs in getting their businesses started. In the role of customer success, you're exactly vital to that. And then I'll do a bit of like what we can offer you. So just kind of give it a bit more of an interesting, rather than like, we're looking for someone for our customer service team. Like,
but you said,
apply.
do you want to, like, you, straight off with the you. Like,
Yeah.
it's just forever saying this.
And and then I will throw out, like, I'll be like, you know, we offer $1,000 for learning and development. We give you fitness budgets from day one. And just kind of talk about that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
And unlimited vacation, flexible working hours, you know, that kind of thing.
But you throw that like right in a group where they're talking about like customer success stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't that annoy them?
No.
Yeah.
No, because the group allows it. So as long as you read the group rules and it allows it, then
exactly. Always read the group rules. But I always just throw that stuff in, and they're chill with it, and I get people.
But what I love is you just start with that powerful word.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like all advertising is like that, isn't it? It's just,
Yeah, it's like,
L'Oreal
it's making it more personal.
Yeah. I always do by L'Oreal. L'Oreal doesn't go because I'm worth it. It goes because you're worth it. You know, it's like just switching that word and we all think we're worth it.
L'Oreal gets it. That'd be some great recruitment copy, because you're worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
Always makes me laugh. But yeah. No, oh my God, it was such an argument this week though, getting them to just that realization, but also just trying to make them understand that I think a lot of recruiters think, oh, well, I put it in a group and there's 55,000 people in the group, so 55,000 people saw it. It's like, no, maybe 1% of people saw it as well. That's the other.
Yeah. And also, like, it's click-throughs, right? And that's something you should keep a track of. Like, for example, when I'm posting on Twitter, I check my analytics every week. I see what posts are working, what posts aren't working. I look at click-throughs, interactions, you know, just to work that out and see what, because at the end of the day, if they're not clicking your link, does it matter that they saw your post?
Exactly. Yeah. Very good point.
Well, I mean, you could argue that now they're thinking of you as an employer, but and then the next time they might.
Are they? Because they didn't interacted. Like, are they? So yeah, that's just the other thing to think about.
I'm a bit worried about Steve's copy on the right there. I'm going to let Audra read that out.
Which one? Time?
No, you're a 9. That one.
Who's the 9? Who's he talking?
You're a 9 out of 10, but I'm the one recruiter you need. Oh dear.
Oh, that's what you put on a group.
So bad. Only pickup lines adapted to recruiting. That's why my conference concubine, they worked on me. Not. Oh, a source compressor. God. I'm crunched.
How do you use Twitter? Emma, do you use Twitter much?
Yeah, Twitter's my
just
favorite.
Like learning conversation?
Yeah, Twitter's my favorite platform. I used to, back in the day, have separate Twitters, but then I eventually came to one Twitter and just got rid of I got rid of my private Twitter. That's the one I got rid of, and had my more public one. I'm just very mindful of what I post. It's not just recruitment related. I keep the content pretty mixed. It will be from silly thoughts I have through to memes. And then also I talk about diversity and inclusion quite a lot. I'll tweet out when I'm at events. I go to a lot of tech and design events in the city. And I put it on posts as well, but like not too many job posts, but I do get Twitter applicants as well, and people through my Twitter.
What is the percentage of like personal posts versus work? Is it like 75% more business work?
It's probably about 50-50 actually. I keep it pretty even. I try to keep relevant to like my friends and people I know, but also industry people as well, because I have a lot of those following me. So I try and do it 50-50.
It's funny because people just don't mind. It gives them something to talk to you about. So it's just like, it's that thing. I mean, like I always think the dogs have brought me so much business, because they're not going to just straight off start talking to me about social recruiting. But the dog thing, they'll talk to me about them and just random comments that go out. Like yesterday when I went out in stupid shoes in the ice, you know, that got loads of conversation about that. It still highlighted what I was up to, but it was about the shoes in the ice. And it's just that people, it's human. It's just a normal. And
it's awesome to talk to people in the industry and people that you might be wanting to recruit at some point about non-stuff related to the industry. Do that all the time as well.
Yeah. And they feel they know you.
Yeah, totally.
And then you get trust. And then when you do have that role, they'll pass it on. Oh, Emma's great. Let me pass it on to
and that happens. I often get people in touch with me and they're like, your name was passed on. and this will be on Facebook, this will be Twitter, it'll be LinkedIn, it'll be wherever. I get that quite a lot. Or I have people that, we've interacted for a while, not about the industry, and they've been like, I'm actually really interested in, in Logojoy, and I want to talk to you. And we end up having much more of a frank conversation as well. Like, I do try to be as transparent in a hiring process as possible. But it tends to be much more like chill, more like chats. And just a really transparent conversation, because we kind of feel like we kind of know each other.
But it's that funny thing as well. I don't think you necessarily know your reach. Like this morning, somebody posted in Slack they were looking to go to SourceCon in the new one in Budapest. And she's like, yeah, did you see? Can I come up and talk to you? I'm such a fangirl. Like, her name hadn't, well, if it's crossed my radar, it's sort of not sunk in. And it was like, wow. Like, I felt really awed that I had that reach. And that's just because I'm sharing stuff. People find it useful. They talk, I chit chat, and you're like, oh, wow. Of course you can come up. I'm just a normal human being. But it was just so lovely.
That's happened to me at events in the city here, because like Toronto is quite a close-knit community, and it's also a smaller tech industry than London, for example. And I've had people turn up to events and they'll be like, oh, I follow you on Twitter, or I've seen you like post in these groups. And I've had someone say they're a fangirl, and I was like, oh my God, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. I was like blushing.
I know. It is. I mean, it's so lovely as well. So I do that to plenty of other people. So I do pay it forward. Oh God, it's great. I've started something on the side I wasn't meant to start. Sorry, just ignore that completely, utterly. Actually, it sounds like what I keep hearing is we go out to events, we bring people in. It sounds like you have a lot of freedom there, and obviously you're getting the success off it as well, because you're allowed to go out and talk. Not, but it's also like, not allowed out, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, my first job in Toronto, I wasn't. There's this conference actually this year that Logojoy is sponsoring. It's the LGBTQ+ conference in Toronto for tech people. My job last year, which wasn't Logojoy, I wasn't even allowed out to that conference, never mind sponsor it. So it's crazy. I used to really have to make a business case to get out to events during the day. But what I would say as well with events, there are loads of evening events, and you have to be willing to put that time in. Like I'm a busy person. I have a busy social life as well, but some weeks I don't go to events at all, because I'm just like, I can't. And you do get event fatigue, like it's totally a thing. But then there's some weeks where I'm like, okay, I need to put some time aside and I actually need to go to these relevant events, as long as I feel they're relevant and that it will help me in some way. I don't really go to recruitment events that much here. I mainly go to, tech and design, basically. I get I'm just like, I should be going to the events where I'm recruiting people, because I get to know people, I make connections. Also, I should be able to follow the presentations. If I recruit these people, I got to be able to talk to them as well.
Yeah,
good point.
I mean, I found that just in my side as well. If I went to too many just general networking, but as soon as I started going to the HR recruiter one, you start going, okay, this is valuable. So you're right, absolutely got to go find the right ones.
Yeah, but you made a great point that those events are not for just going there to recruit and to network, which is great
to learn, but you're
learning. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I think, I think as a recruiter, you've got to get immersed in kind of that world. Like you can't get, well, actually some people do get by. You can't get by just knowing keywords and just searching for keywords. And you're actually never, I think your sourcing is going to be better as well if you're immersed in that world, is the other thing.
Speaking of human things, could you just flash your hand at Steve Levy, who's like covered in tats as well?
And arms. This is my new one, my little pizza tattoo.
That's awesome. What made you decide to get a pizza tattoo?
Sometimes you just gotta YOLO and treat yourself.
Yes, awesome.
And also my arms are covered, so it's kind of doesn't stand out as much. Just it is in a bit of a place where there isn't too many tattoos right now, though.
Funny.
Do you find in America that holds you back career-wise, or not at all?
I work in tech and I work in a startup, and before that I was in design agencies, so everyone is covered. You have creative directors and stuff who are covered, and quite a few people in the office are. Like, it's very informal, and in terms of what we can wear as well, like, it's pretty chill.
That's nice, yeah.
I find that so funny here, because, I mean, as you know, London's so dressed down now, unless you're an IT recruiter or a banker. So they stand out a mile.
Yeah, and I used to work in Shoreditch for many years as well, and before that it was Camden, so it was the kind of like dressed down parts of London anyway, in like creative hubs. And that's like, I feel like I work better when I'm comfortable in terms of what I can wear as well.
It was interesting. I've done a lot of speaking this week. I've just realised. Sorry, I was at the. It's just it's all relevant, but it's just bizarre. No wonder I'm tired. On Saturday, weirdly, I spoke at the CIPD student conference, which was really, really cool, surprisingly. But there were lots of girls there, like with green hair and pink hair, and they're saying, "Oh, I've been told if I'm interviewing, I should get rid of it." And I went, no, just go find the company that will have you with pink hair.
Right.
Like, don't be.
Depends on the role in the company.
And then Sarah Dux, who was HR director at, oh God, it's gone out of my head, Fletcher's Solicitor. She's moved on, doing something different now. But she had a blonde mohawk and piercing galore.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's why she got the job. They were like, we need someone like you to come in and stir us up. We're not a normal solicitor firm. So find the right companies. So, I mean, I agree.
Yeah,
so, because if they don't like it, then you don't want to work there.
Well,
yeah, exactly. That's as simple as I see it. But I understand with people that might be having issues getting a job as well. Like, I understand that they might want to adapt and find a company that will, that will hire them.
That's true. Chris Russell, what would be a good recruiter tag? Well, some Boolean, surely, and not.
Oh my God, yes. But some ridiculous Boolean.
Yeah, we can't have send me your resume because the fact it's CV over here. We have to have, a purple square.
Do you even know any with actual recruiter tattoos? That would be so funny.
I don't know. Does Steve have one? A golden unicorn. Oh my God. Have we lost Emma again? She's frozen. She's deep in thought again. I don't think she's got the best Wi-Fi there in that office. I imagine she'll reappear. It is weird having these on. I've got builders in upstairs, so I really needed them, but they feel weird. She's coming back with a would you come back? She's thinking of her tattoo. Is this your tattoo you're getting? So
yeah.
It's
It's
huge, isn't it? I'm not. I'm waiting for Emma. Here she is. We
Am I
lost
back?
you. Yeah,
This
we
is
just
so
knew.
weird,
Oh. She said the Wi-Fi word.
She was just saying I got the Wi-Fi.
Jim, that is seriously creepy. I can't believe you just said that. And I'm gone again. She's gone again. Oh, no. Just reload your screen. Yeah. Bless her. She's like,
I'm going to get a big link.
Really good. Yeah, I should do that. Yeah. LinkedIn burning or something like that.
Am I back?
Don't say the Wi-Fi word. Don't say that. It clearly jinxes it.
This is so weird. This is why I probably should have stayed at home.
Oh, don't worry.
Do you work from home a lot or more in the office?
So we don't really have set hours here. The only team that kind of have more set hours are customer success. But we have work from home whenever and do whatever hours you want. As long as you're getting your work done, they don't really care. Basically, like it's fine. It's very flexible.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for getting this stuff done.
Yeah, and we trust our people, right? That's the other thing.
It's funny. Right. Trust. A company, again, will remain nameless, that I was training. I actually went in and trained their hiring managers to talk more to it was a really interesting session to kind of get them to talk more to the recruiters and the sources to break down some barriers. Because obviously the tech managers aren't explaining their job descriptions, as you know, you can't recruit. But there was so much, the stuff that came up was not what I was expecting. The resentment between the office that's not in London and the London office, because the London office just decided they were going to wear dress down and just do. They just ignore the fact that the CEO doesn't like it and they just do it. But they've all done it together. So then you got this resentment that they're having to wear more business attire. And then it was also the flexible hours. They just won't, because they're struggling to recruit. It's tech. These guys are in demand. They can go work wherever they want. They want to work from home. They just don't work for that company. And I'm going, you're not even in a good location. You're not even in a proper outside of London city. You're in a business park outside of. Stop making it so hard.
Yeah.
But it was the resentment over clothing really stunned me more than the flexible hours.
You have to offer it, I think. And, there's quite a few places in Toronto that don't. Last place I worked, we didn't. Luckily, it didn't really hinder our recruitment, which was quite lucky. But I find, developers, they want more of that now. Like, yes, we do require them
does.
like being on site a little bit, because I do think that is important for team collaboration. That's just my opinion there. And like building relationships and stuff. But it's also nice to have the option to just, if you just want to have a sleep in the morning, you know, you want to lie in, you're having a hard week, like that's fine. We just put out in general on Slack just to say, I'm working from home today. Get me on all channels, like, and it's fine. It's not questioned because we trust everyone to do so.
I also think it lets people do work in flow as well, because, you know, like Emma and I were joking before we came on that, you know, it's the morning, you haven't had your coffee, you know, it's like, I'm really great in the morning and I'm really awful. Like in the next hour, I'm just going to be like useless. So I'm better to do that. And then I might reboot later and come back on for an hour or two later. Like
I try to avoid morning meetings because I'm not good in the morning.
Yeah. But so if you were therefore allowed to start your day later and finish later, that might suit you better because you can do your meetings. And I just think there should be more of that work in flow.
I mean, ironically, I'm one of the first in the morning. I'm not a morning person, but I am one of the first in. Just because I also need the calm before the storm. It's just like before I even come to the office, I give myself 40 minutes to have a coffee, to go through my social feeds, to think about the day, and then I get ready for work. So I get up way earlier than I need to as well.
Don't have kids.
Nope.
Yeah. Quite different.
My kids, who obviously have 4 legs, let me sleep in this morning. I couldn't believe it. I got an entire hour sleep in. It was great. I'm so spoiled. I love what Craig Kelly's written here, though, with the results of a new work environment, ROWE. That's
what a great idea.
Yeah.
Everyone else, so if you're the first, you know what? Everyone's schedules are actually just so different here. It's whatever works. One of the reasons we do it is whatever works for you and what helps you with your work-life balance. Because we have lots of people that might have side hustles outside of work. We have people that are lecturers in the city. For some of our kind of the tech academies in the city and stuff. And they also need that flexibility. And some people, they do prefer coming in at 10 and leaving at 6 kind of thing. So yeah, it's completely up to them.
Do you have a core time they need to be in?
I mean,
like some companies are like, you must be here between 1 and 3 or whatever. Like at least so there's some overlap, or you don't bother.
It depends. Because like one of our devs, for example, doesn't really work to that. Like he prefers to sometimes actually do big feature pushes at 2 a.m. in the morning before the rest of the world wakes up kind of thing. And prefers to work that way. But yeah, not really. I mean, if you were going to say core hours, like 9 to 5, and some people do work 9 to 5. That's what they like to do. They like to have their routine. I kind of stay to that as much as I possibly can. I do a bit more than 5 just because I'm terrible at leaving. That's my London mentality sometimes. That goes in. And I got here and I never took lunch, and people were like, you know, you can take lunch and you can like sit with us and take lunch and not eat at your desk. And I was like, oh, what? We didn't do that in advertising in London. Like,
no, presenteeism reigns supreme in this city.
Yeah. So now
it's changing. It is changing though.
Yeah, no, it totally is. It's also being in the startup world now instead of advertising as well, because that is a totally different kind of culture. That's what I would say. Also, I've got work-life balance for the first time in my career. It's great.
So when you were in advertising, though, you were in recruitment.
Yes. I started recruitment departments in ad agencies.
Wow.
They're coming up.
That must have been interesting.
MBWA.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Much better. What's he saying? Oh, wait, no, I don't know what that is.
No, what's MBWA? I'm missing something.
Management
by wandering around. Really randomly on that, I have bought one of these converters so I can stand up at my desk. I can't believe how much I stand up.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Do you use it a lot?
I use it.
You use it a lot?
Yeah. I actually haven't used it today yet, but I probably will when the Labrador stops headbutting me.
Yeah, we've got like people can request them, and then we also have standing stations around the office as well if they fancy a change of scenery.
Yeah. Hello. They're amazing.
At my headquarters, some of the teams have those big balls you can sit.
Oh, the yoga balls? It feels cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
could use some help. Maybe I'm going to get one of those.
I'm not sure I'd sit on it.
I tried it once and I really and then I was like, okay, I clearly need to change some things about my life then if I'm struggling.
Yeah. I think, yeah, no, but
That would be too much fun.
I'd start with one of these. You'll be surprised how often you'll stand up.
Yeah, they are really good. I do have one.
Yeah, and mine just the whole. I just click the sides and up it goes. So
it's good for health as well and promoting health in the office because your lower back takes a big toll.
So what I do is when my neck starts hurting, I stand up. When my back starts hurting, I sit down, and I switch between the two.
We have a massage therapist coming into the office today because everyone's like, just because everyone's like complaining all the time about neck problems, back problems, myself included. So we've got a massage therapist in all day just to help people a little bit.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's Richard, Stephen, to answer your question. You know,
he's going in and out a lot.
He's taking the dogs out. He's now feeding them. One's under my feet. So this is why I normally have a screen up. And then I went, you know what? I'm just not doing that anymore. Everyone says what a boring room I live in. It's like I don't. It's a bit odd because I have a cabinet next to me with a towel on top, so that the dog doesn't slide into the window when he jumps up. So that probably looks strange, but whatever. I've just got lazy. I've decided you can see.
I have a question, Emma. Did your So who does employment branding on your team? Is it kind of split between people, or do you do it? Or
so it's split between me and marketing. So marketing do take the main control on that because we have live customers on our platform. So we are targeting, actual like customers that could be, normal people. But I will also get involved. Like, for example, I might get involved.
Oh, I was excited to hear what she's going to say. Yeah. She's going to leave us hanging forever.
She has to come back. We're running out of time.
She'll be back.
She'll be back. She's to refresh. Here she goes. I know, right? Better cliffhanger than Dallas. We're all like, yeah. But also, I think it's good to hear from a company that's quite small as well as a startup.
Hello.
So I'm curious.
Am I back?
Hey, usually.
Yep.
So
you got this all hanging.
What did I say? So yeah, usually job posting wise, I will do copy. But then I will push some.
Oh my God. Oh no. We can't run out of time. We've only got 8 minutes.
One more shot.
Really like this platform. Have to jump on. Thanks, Emma. Bye, Guy. Bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
As long as Emma comes back, there she is. What's going on?
I actually don't know because we never have issues with the Wi-Fi, so I don't know what's happening.
Could be just the platform.
Too much knowledge for the system to handle.
Yes.
You gotta love this crowd.
But what was I saying? So I will get involved in pushing stuff out that kind of makes us more human, and also event partnerships I've made. So for the example, the other day, we had our first anniversary for an employee because we are so young. And we did this amazing branded, customized box with typography of their name. We had a value that we'd chosen for them inside, and we had like customized stuff within the box. And I got the marketing team to make a video of it and like show off what's in the box. And we got that out onto the social channels and just, made a point that we're celebrating a big milestone. It's our first ever hire. It's her anniversary. So awesome. I did that. I did all the copy for that as well. So I collaborate really closely with the marketing team, and I think it's really important to have a marketing team that do give you buy-in, because I've worked in places before where the marketing team haven't and may not have necessarily had the best social knowledge either. So it's really important to get a marketing team that really does buy into you. And I'll be very
when it's the absolute worst is when they want to vet your social media posts as well. That's the worst. I see that way too often. You're like, really? You trust me to use email and the phone, but you want to vet my social media posts? Like, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's awesome here that I have that. And we've got these conferences coming up, and I'll make sure that they're pushing those out on the channels. And also, they do ask my opinion on a lot of social stuff they put out as well. So it's pretty awesome. It's a great partnership to have. And work as close as marketing, to marketing as you can. Because as a recruiter, there is a lot of ways we share the same skills as marketing. And I think that's important to realize.
How did you build that relationship when you started? Did you just jump right in, or did you have to work on
I was a little bit luckier here because I was the 10th employee here. And I came in and started this arm from scratch, and I'm seen as management here as well. So I was a bit luckier here in the sense that I started pretty early, and I've recruited a lot of the marketing team. But also when I actually I talk to them about my ideas and stuff, and if you genuinely have good ideas, they will buy in. They often will buy into you, as long as they're that kind of people. Because yes, I've had ideas in the past where they've been shot down, but it's because the marketeer has felt like their toes have been trodden on, or that kind of thing. They might be a bit more protective and cagey over marketing. And I think and that's why it's important to recruit people that aren't like that, and understand that collaboration can come from anywhere in the office. The best ideas can come from anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be your own team or yourself. So yeah, I'm lucky in the sense that yes, I was one of the earlier employees, but also they recognize that I have good ideas when it comes to that kind of thing. And we also have a very good communication. If they were like, Emma, that's a terrible idea, I'd be like, and they explained it, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. That's
I love what Rahul's written here. This sounds like a collaborative environment, or a unicorn. But I think what I'm hearing is how you're going, it's like this and it's like this, and this passion is coming through. So your recruitment must be really easy, because it just comes naturally out of you that you just so love where you are and you're thriving in that environment. So
I actually had this conversation with a candidate yesterday. We had someone in interviewing for a role, for a design role, and she was like, I just love this. She was like, I'm so excited. I can't believe you do all this stuff. And I was just kind of I feel like I'm selling a dream, and that I might not be telling the truth, but then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no, literally everything I just told you is the truth, about this environment, or about what we do for employees and all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, this is actually true. And this is why I can authentically speak, because I am a recruiter that if I don't believe in a company, I stop believing in a company. I got to leave. I can't be selling something I don't believe in. And I truly believe in what we're doing here as well. And we have an awesome environment.
And typing recruiter jobs Toronto and hitting enter into Google, there's plenty of jobs out there. So you don't have to stay in an environment that sucks.
And there's a lot of places here are just getting their first internal recruiters as well. So it's a big market. It's
really growing.
Yeah,
I'm loving watching the growth, and particularly when you go and if I train the other side and they're all like, I'm like, oh, seriously, you've got no idea. It's so lovely watching it grow. So, we're running out of time. Emma, thank you so much for all of that.
Yeah, thank you. It was so nice to meet you, Emma. That was really useful.
I'm so excited that I'm going to be in Toronto and get to see you in person again. It's been
when
years.
Are you in Toronto?
Whenever Sosu is.
Oh,
when is it?
June or July? Can't remember. People keep asking me.
I think it's June.
I need to work out what I'm speaking about.
I don't know what I'm speaking about. But anyway, I
haven't actually done any speaking in 2 years now, so I'm very, very rusty. So
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'll help you as much as you need. Just let me know.
Amazing.
Next week we have Stephen Kosovo. Kosokow. Why can't I say his name? He's insane and I absolutely adore him. I can't remember what we're talking about. Oh, we're talking about, that's right, because he's learnt to be a fitness instructor. So having to motivate people in a class to attend so he can keep having money, and has really benefited recruitment. So he's going to talk about all that kind of engagement side. So that should be fun. Hopefully he'll wear some lycra as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. Some spandex.
Yeah. And anyway, Emma, thank you again.
Thank you
so much. Yeah, nice to meet you.
So
thank you very much.
So thank you for getting up early just for us.
Thank you. Thank you everyone that watched.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Take care. Thanks everyone.
Bye.